Well, here we are again. I've put a bit of a trolley together since the last time. I had some cast iron wheels. It's only a very makeshift one on some old timber I had, so it's nothing for show or anything. I've had to strip the lifter D back down, although it wasn't really assembled. Put the flywheel back on, trying to get the 5 nuts on. I've got 4 on, but because I can't get the flywheel off, the one right underneath is very, very difficult to get on, and I'm having a job to get my fingers right underneath. I've got the nut. There's the nut, but it's right underneath here somewhere. I don't know whether I can actually get in there to see it. But, yeah, you can just see it sticking up there. I've had to put a wedge underneath to lift the flywheel up without taking the whole thing out. So I'm going to try and get it back in now. Alright, well, I got that nut on. Wasn't easy, but it did fit. And I've had to do it up right underneath with the spanner, the engine on its side. The tape, by the way, is there because I'm not painting the rim. So I'm just going to leave it bare metal. It's a bit rusty, so I've just left that there to protect it a bit. Right, well, I better get on and do the others up and get the governor section put back in now. Right, I've got the bolts on for the crankcase and that, so that it doesn't move. Put the gasket on for the other piece, the governor. Put all that on, not forgetting the little bolt that goes on this one, which you have to put on before you tighten the rest of this up, otherwise you can't get it on. I thought, well, I'll just try and put the head on just loose to see how it goes. There was no problem with that. That's the head there. I'm going to put all the valve rockers and everything back in. I took them all out. So I put that on loose, and then I thought, well, I'll just try the push rods. So I could see the one on the outside because the inspection hole there shows a bit of light, so I could see that one. Couldn't see the other one very well, but I did find it. And then I put my fingers on the 2 rockers and push rods, I should say, and I just turned it over, and of course the push rod on the left hand side, if you look at it, fell inside. And when it falls inside, I know I've read about it, and that it falls into a position like that, and there's no way you can get it out without taking all the governor casting back off, because you can't get it in through the inspection hole. You can see where it is there, but you can't get at it. So I just put it back on at the moment with a piece of string around it to show you where it ends up. Otherwise, excuse me, without the string it'll fall out. So do as people tell you, put a piece of string on it, and then you can pull it out. So that's something else I'll remember. Right, so here's one push rod with a piece of string around it, just showing this is in its socket at the bottom, just showing that you can easily untie the string, and that's going around. Now if I drop it, I'll drop it down in the thing. Oh dear, I dropped it. And then you get your piece of string and up it comes. End of story. So there's just a warning to anybody who thinks that they're okay. Mind you, my light's not very good in here, but anyway. Well, here we are again. A lovely, bright, sunny day in Cornwall. Not pouring the rain, easterly wind, chilly. But I've just watched Float doing his Lister D and getting it running, so I thought, well, got to get out here and do something. I've just put the valve gear back in, put the old thing on. I've got my bits of string on there in case I drop the push rod, so that's got to come off. So, and I've set the tappets to 6 thou using a piece of shim metal which I've got here, 6mm shim, and held it with my little bent nose pliers so that I wouldn't do it. I've marked on the chain a blue mark which is where the spark is just about, or the gap on the point's just about opening. And I marked on the flywheel the top dead centre, which according to everybody is where it should be, except on this flywheel. The original one is way over here somewhere, I don't know why, and I put a little pop mark on there which is where the lightning strike should be. I'm just about to measure that, see if I can make it the same distance as was on the original one, which is there, and that's what I got, just a bit of the strike, and that's the engraved line across the flywheel, but it doesn't line up with anything because the keyway should be at 6 o'clock, and of course with that there in is about 2 o'clock. Anyway, shan't worry about that. The valves seem to be opening and closing all right. I say their tappets are set to 6, so that's top dead centre. That's on the wrong stroke. Let's go around again. The top dead centre. Yep, that's good enough. So I'll put the carburetor on now and see if I can get the thing mobile. Right, well, I did have it working earlier. Not very well, but I forgot to put the camera on record, so I lost it when it was just popping along. Since heard from Ross on YouTube, that's Float. He told me that the valve settings need to be 31 thou, so I've just reset those. The timing is iffy on this one. I think that's all it is. I've just started it and went in to get my wife out, but she's otherwise engaged at the moment. Anyway, I will try and start it again, see what happens. So bear with me because I have to tinker with it. I don't know if I can get the camera aimed on this. Anyhow, I'll just put it there for now and see what happens. I've got no stand for this camera. Plonk it on there and see what's what. Get something to under it, just standing up. Right, let's Let's have a quick look. Oh, I think there's something showing there. Right, let's have another go. Well, something's happening. It wants to go, but we shall see. Now I'll fiddle with it a bit more and then we'll have another go. But get in there. Now the petrol, I think, again. Right, well there we go, doing something. Out of petrol then. It's the first time it's run in about 30 years. But it helps if you have the governor linkage on, which I didn't have, so I just remembered to push it up and down by hand, and we had it all going.